set.
The 200 meter world record, 19.19 seconds, by none other than the freakiest sprinter to ever touch a track, Usain Bolt. In this race, he ran an insane second half split of 9.27 seconds, absolutely deleting the field. And at the time of this race, this would be the second fastest finishing split ever. But what if I told you, as of 2023, it's not even the second, third, or fourth fastest closing 200 meter split. There are now 4 times faster than what Usain Bolt ran in his 19.19 world record race. Coming in at the 5th fastest closing split ever, with a time equaling Bolt's at 9.27 seconds, Letsile Tebogo from Botswana. He's one of this year's breakout stars. He ran this time at the 2023 London Diamond League meet and was ever so slightly gaining on Noah Lyles during this race. His finishing time of 19.50 caused an absolute stir. It made him the 6th fastest athlete in the 200 meter ever, and it was also now the 12th fastest 200 meter time ever recorded. And that's why it just makes it all the more comical that he runs such a historically fast time and still places second. The only person to do so on this list. Quite impressive really. But this time demolished his old previous best of 19.87. And he continued to live up to the hype, medaling in both the 1 and 2 at the 2023 World Champs. In 4th is the still teenage phenom and 2023 World Champs 200 meter silver medalist, USA's Erriyon Knighton. He managed to close the second half of his 19.49 200 meter in a stunning 9.23 seconds last year in 2022. Already off the bat, he ran this time at age 18. It made him the 5th fastest athlete ever in the 200 meter, running the 11th fastest time in history, and even further smashing a previous junior world record held by Bolt by almost half a second. This race was absolutely ballistic. His PB prior was 19.84, that's a 0.35 second improvement. And man, not even Yohan Blake could gain on him that day. He hasn't quite run nearly as fast since, but he's still only 19. The 3rd fastest second half split belongs to one of the sprinting GOATs, USA's Michael Johnson. At the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games, he ran 19.32, smashing his own world record by 0.34 seconds. He thoroughly demolished the field, took gold, and his closing 100 meter was ran in 9.20 seconds. Michael Johnson was an absolute champion in his time, literally only ever winning golds at the Olympics and World Champs. But this 200 meter time and split was absolutely freakish. His second fastest 200 meter in his career was 19.66. It's crazy to see a time from 1996 still landing him a spot as the 4th fastest athlete to ever run the 200 meter. And don't even get me started on his 400 meter achievements. The number 2 spot goes to this 2023's World Champ double in the 1 and 2, the brilliantly cocky Noah Lyles. In his PB run of 19.31 at the 2022 World Champs, where of course he railed the field, he closed his final 100 meter in a time of 9.16 seconds. And I mean, he was just absolutely flying. Prior to this race, he had run a 19.5, and he was honestly building a solid portfolio with fast 200 meter times. But this race really put Lyles in the world record conversation. It was an absolutely electric race at the time, and although he wasn't able to better it in 2023, I'm betting that he's not even close to done yet. And now finally, the fastest second half split we've ever seen. Yohan Blake from Jamaica with a split of 9.12 seconds in 2011. This 19.26 is the second fastest 200 meter time to date, and it would have been the world record if not for his abnormally slow reaction time. He visibly starts behind everyone, and he's never reacted this slow before or after this race. It's just facts. If he reacts normally, he breaks Bolt's world record. This is technically the fastest 200 meter ever run. He does absolutely run away from the field in this race, and the gap does just keep getting bigger, with a weird exception of Walter Dix, who ran an absolutely flying race himself, running a PB of 19.53, this time making him the 7th fastest athlete ever. Delving deeper into that 2011 season, Blake had run some pretty fast 100 meter times and even won the World Champs that year because of a false start. But his 200 meter times were shocking, his previous season's best being a 20.33. He toppled that by over a second. In the case of Yohan Blake, it's hard to look back and be shocked, because after this 2011 season, he had a phenomenal 2012, running times of 19.44, 19.53, and a 9.69 in the 100 meter. But that was all after this 1926. This 200 meter time literally came out of nowhere. It was a freakish performance. It's beyond crazy to see how many athletes have actually closed faster than Usain Bolt, considering he owns both the 100 and 200 meter world records, as well as the fastest top end speed ever ran by a human. But what makes it even more exciting is that 4 of these athletes on this list are still active, 3 of them in their prime or yet to hit it even. The next 5 to 10 years of men's sprinting is going to be sick.